Today I cooked a turkey dinner from my food storage, and this is how it turned out. I cooked turkey and gravy, stuffing, sweet potatoes, green beans, cranberry sauce, and biscuits. The first thing that I do is put a little turkey broth in a pan and cook it until it's browned. Then I add the remaining turkey broth and bring it to a boil. I mix 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour with some cold water. Then I add the flour mixture to the boiling broth in the pan. I cook, stirring constantly until it's thickened into a gravy. I season it with a little salt and pepper to taste. I put the turkey in a baking pan, cover it with gravy, and then put it in the oven. The oven is heated to about 400 degrees. I put some green beans in a pan and turn the burner on to medium heat. I put the sweet potatoes in a baking pan, sprinkle them with some cinnamon, and then put them in the oven. I put some Bisquick in a bowl, add a little shortening so they won't be so dry, then mix it together thoroughly. I add some milk that I made from powdered milk, and I mix it into a stiff dough. I knead it until it's smooth, and then I cut it out into biscuits. I put the biscuits in a pan and then place them in the oven. I'm using a store-bought box of stovetop stuffing, but when my supply of this is gone, I plan on replacing that with homemade. I found a recipe online for a homemade stovetop stuffing, and I know that I can dehydrate bread in my dehydrator, so that's what I'll be doing in the future. I'll put a link in the description box to that recipe. To make the stuffing, I put 1½ cups of water in the pot. The directions call for half a stick of butter. Since I'm preparing for a non-electric situation, I'm substituting 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil and 2 teaspoons of butter buds for the butter. Now I know that in a non-electric situation, I wouldn't be cooking on an electric stove. I have a cast iron wood stove that I would be cooking on. This is my water with the substitute butter. I bring it to a boil, then add the stuffing mix, turn off the heat, and cover the pot. Now all I have to do is wait for the biscuits to get done. This entire meal takes about 20-25 minutes to make. One food item that has really given me a headache is the issue of how to keep butter in a non-electric situation. Personally, I'm not comfortable canning it. I bought powdered butter, and that stuff really tastes awful. So I've decided that for baking, I will substitute butter with shortening or vegetable oil. And I might buy some powdered shortening to see how that'll work out. And for spreading butter on things like biscuits or toast, I found that if I mix some butter buds with coconut oil, then I end up with a nice spreadable something that tastes like butter. If you taste it by itself, it tastes a little grainy, but when it melts onto the food, then it tastes pretty good. The coconut oil melts very easily, and it really doesn't have much of a taste on its own. It doesn't taste like coconuts. I found an article about the health aspects of coconut oil. It's higher in fat than butter, but there's no cholesterol. So I'll put a link to that article in the description box. If you've never had home canned cranberry sauce, you don't know what you're missing. The stuff you buy in the store is very bitter, whether you know it or not. I highly recommend that you can some cranberry sauce. So that's it. That's all there is to it. Enjoy.